I think that it's a real good possibility that we could see Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder in December. Here, let's go watch this. Watch this first, and then we're going to talk about it. Let's see. It's over here. Watch this first.
I think it's such a sad time for heavyweight boxing because you've got the so-called super champion and golden boy, Anthony Joshua, and he is avoiding Deontay Wilder and will not fight him at any costs. If you're not going to fight someone for 40 million, you're not going to fight him for anything. It's a disgrace, and he's a disgrace to boxing. And I think it needs somebody good enough to step up and take on the challenges and not be afraid. Not be afraid to take risks and go to people's backyards and do it. Can you imagine if I went to America and beat Deontay Wilder in America after beating Klitschko in Germany? That would be sensational. It might happen. Who knows? Wait for the news.
He just returned. Tyson Fury just returned.
I think it's
a couple of months ago. Right now, it's July the 24th, 2018. TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. What time is it? 11:42 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, just outside of Philadelphia. He put this on his Twitter yesterday, and his social media is like really, really active. I think he did another one talking about it. For those who don't know, August the 18th, he's fighting Francisco Pianeta. Is this the other one? Francisco Pianeta. I'm looking for it. Hold on. Give me a minute. Was it this one? Wasn't that one? Well, anyway, moving on. I think that Tyson Fury can beat Deontay Wilder, and I think that he could beat Anthony Joshua. Just my personal opinion. And will he do so? Only time will tell. I think that he could dance circles around Anthony Joshua and outbox and probably rarely get hit. When it comes to Deontay Wilder with that straight right, I don't know. But first, he has to get past Francisco Pianeta, which is going to be on August the 18th. Likely, it will be on Showtime over here in the States. Likely. And there's been talks between Frank Warren and Shelly Finkel about whether Wilder or Fury can fight each other. And I'm thinking that if it was to happen, it would have to happen in December because he's not going to fight in August. And even if it is just Francisco Pianeta, they're not going to just, have just 2 months of build-up. December is a more logical date. And likely, if it was to happen, it would be pay-per-view. What the fuck is he doing? I don't like this. No, we're not going to do that anymore. But if it was to happen, it would be pay-per-view over here in the States. Now, for those who don't know, he is the former WBO, WBA, and IBF champion. Right now, he's currently ranked by the WBC, so therefore he can fight Deontay Wilder. In regards to will he be ranked by the IBF, we don't know. Let's go check. Because remember, he didn't like the fact that the IBF was going to strip him, even though he was involved in a rematch clause. And one thing about the IBF that they have shown us is that if you don't fight your mandatory, they will strip you. They don't care about rematches. They don't care about what it says in your contract. Your contract has nothing to do with their ranking. So he was pretty pissed that they were going to strip him because he had to fight Vladimir Klitschko again because of the contract. Now, understand that those 3 belts that Anthony Joshua has, Tyson Fury never lost. And in fact, Ring Magazine has said that they're not going to make Joshua versus Povetkin for that title, the Ring Magazine title, and that the winner of Joshua versus Wilder will likely be for that, even though Tyson Fury is still a lineal champ. When you're the lineal champ, what that means is you beat the man that beat the man that beat the man. It doesn't matter what belt you have. It means that you beat the guy that was recognized as the champion. You see what I'm saying? So in the case of Tyson Fury, he beat Vladimir Klitschko, who had that long-ass 10-year reign. In regards to Anthony Joshua, he didn't beat Tyson Fury. Yeah, he beat Klitschko, but Klitschko, wasn't the man anymore. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Joshua's victory over Klitschko because I know a lot of UK fans, you get real sensitive. You got to understand that in this portion of what we're talking about being a lineal champion. Tyson Fury has no belts, but he's still recognized as the lineal champion, even though he doesn't have the ring. He's still undefeated. He hasn't lost his belts. He had to drop him, and the IBF was going to strip his ass. So as you can see, he is ranked by the WBC at number 7. Dominic Breazeale is the mandatory. When you're a champion, you have to fight somebody in the top 15. So all of these names that you see, who's the biggest fight for him? It's not going to be Tony Bellew. Tony Bellew, they're trying to get him Alexander Usyk. Povetkin is taken up. Dylan Whyte is fighting Joseph Parker. Dylan Whyte can likely, if he beats Joseph Parker this week in the 28th, if he beats Joseph Parker, he can get Anthony Joshua in Wembley in April in a rematch. But that's if Wilder doesn't accept whatever terms Joshua, and Hearn. See, here's the way I look at it. I see both sides being at fault. Joshua's side and Wilder's side. But in my personal opinion, and no, I'm not in the fucking Lions Den boxing community. I just learned what that shit was like 3 months ago. I've been hearing this LDBC shit for God knows how long. People have been commenting, oh, it's just another LDB. No, it's not. No, I'm not into that. I take what I do very, 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 very seriously. I study the sport, the politics, the promoters, the managers, all that shit. I'm not with them. But in my personal opinion, I feel that Joshua's team is more the blame. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why. For one, the WBA is not known for stripping people. That 24-hour deadline was bullshit. The WBA wasn't going to strip them. Number 2, the Zone here in the USA, which is now broadcasting Anthony Joshua fights, Showtime broadcast Deontay Wilder fights. Them two would have had to work together for Anthony Joshua's first fight on that platform? No. I forgot what number 3 was. I think number 3 was important. Oh, the $50 million. Now, I can understand that UK fans don't really have a grasp on it when it comes to the money over here in the United States. But Wilder's team has that money. You may say Wilder has never made more than $2 million a fight. How does he have $50 million? If you don't know who Al Heyman is, and if you're one of those people that go look on Forbes and say, oh, Al Heyman's only worth $50 million, then there's no convincing you of anything. Because on Forbes, you'll say it says Al Heyman net worth $15 million. You're a fool, right? He probably made $15 million off of fucking Mayweather McGregor alone. Likely, definitely more than that. Al Heyman is a music mogul, not just some music guy. He's a music mogul, still heavily involved with Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, Drake, all their concerts. That's his money, along with boxing. So you can't tell me that Showtime, CBS, and Al Heyman, who's also behind all of Mayweather's career, big fights, Mayweather McGregor, Mayweather Pacquiao, Mayweather Canelo. You can't tell me that with him and Showtime, they didn't have that $50 million. Now, I understood why Joshua couldn't take it because of his promotional agreement. He couldn't just take that money. Deontay Wilder's even talked about how they had a conversation on the phone, him and Anthony Joshua. Why would they lie about that? So understand, I'm going to say this one more time to try to drill it into your heads, is that I study the business side. My niche here on this channel is the business side of the sport. Promotion and all that shit. So I know what I'm talking about. I don't think that they wanted that fight this year. And you can say, well, Wilder had the contract. Fuck all that bullshit. Let's move on. This is a Tyson Fury video. So let's say Deontay Wilder doesn't get Anthony Joshua in April. When does this Tyson Fury fight happen? Would they do it this year? In December, would Tyson Fury say, hey, fuck it. I lost all this weight. I got my 2 comeback fights. Now I'm going for a championship. Or does he want one more comeback fight after Francisco Pianeta because he's already ranked? How big would Wilder versus Fury be? Well, first of all, here in the States, it would be on pay-per-view. It's a definite. That would be on pay-per-view. Number 2, Fury said he would come here to the United States. Would they do it in Vegas or would they do it in New York? Seems as though Tyson Fury wants it in New York. In my opinion, I would love to. Okay, I would love to see it in New York because it's close to me, about 2 hour drive. But if it seems as though a fight like Wilder versus Fury is a Vegas fight because you want Fury fans to come over and vacation and everything. You can vacation in New York. You definitely can vacation in New York. But it seems as though it seems more of a Vegas fight. I covered this guy, Francisco Pianeta, when he fought Vladimir Klitschko years back. Not really good. You know, Tyson Fury should have no issues with him. I hope that Tyson Fury gets him out of there and doesn't bullshit around with him for 12 rounds. That's going to be no good. And also, they said they're not going to be doing that playing shit like they did with Sefery, whatever his name is. I didn't like that at all. Picking him up, the kissing and shit. I didn't like that shit. Lose to Kevin Johnson. You know, at this point, Kevin Johnson's career really, really says something about you. And this was like his comeback after losing to Chagiev. So, a pretty respectable resume, win or loss, because with guys like he even fought Francois Botha. I think, yeah, Kevin Johnson, Ruslan Chagiev, Vladimir Klitschko. He was undefeated at the time. Fucking Oliver McCall, who was supposed to fight a few weeks ago, but then started crying or some shit at the weigh-in or didn't show up or some shit. I forgot. The White Buffalo, Francois Botha. My bad. Matt Skelton, Johan Duhaupas. You know, remember, Wilder fought him later on in his career. And, Wilder fought him like 6 years later. So, pretty, respectable resume. They can talk about how, well, Tyson Fury, was fighting Pianeta and he fought, Johan Duhaupas and beat Johan Duhaupas before Wilder did. They can say some shit like that. That's how they work. That's how promoters work. Tyson Fury nearly a 2.5-year layoff. Luckily, he's still young, 29 years old. Oh, no, he'll be, before he step into the ring, he'll be 30. Before he step into the ring, that week before, he'll be 30. Or are they doing it like the UK? Like, is his birthday in December or in August? Is it August the 12th or December the 8th? I don't know. So, looking at the way things stack up right now, for him to get a championship, obviously, is to fight either Wilder or Anthony Joshua. And I would think that they will want to get Wilder before Anthony Joshua if the fight does happen, because then, Fury versus Joshua is a much, much bigger fight over there. A much, much bigger fight in the UK. Like, that's definitely 100,000, right? Especially if Fury beats Wilder. If Fury beats Wilder, that's 100,000 right there. So the claim to fame is literally right there, but how would they do it? Would BT Sport and Sky Sport work together for a fight like this? I think they got to. It won't be no purse bid. They have to fight each other. But anyway, we'll see, what happens. Frank Warren and Shelley Finkel, the Fink, they're in talks to stage this fight. No telling when. And I think it's a good move for Wilder if he does take that fight. But will he fight Dominic Breazeale next? Will he fight Dominic Breazeale next and then go on to, fight Tyson Fury, them fight in like April-ish or so? That means Tyson Fury would fight in August. He would have to fight again in like November. And Wilder would have to fight that time too for them guys to meet up in March. A month before Joshua versus Dylan Whyte or whoever he fights. If it's not, it would be crazy if Joseph Parker beat Dylan Whyte. What if Joseph Parker beat Dylan Whyte, right? Who is, and Wilder doesn't fight him in April. Who is Anthony Joshua going to fight in Wembley? They can really fuck up their plans. Gerald Miller? Nah, because he's going to be fighting Artur Spilka, then the winner of Char versus Oquendo to get this bullshit belt. Kubrat Pulev's going to be fighting Huey Fury. They could fight that mandatory in April, depending on when this fight gets made. So we'll see. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe.